What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Teenage Head, and we're returning to Frantic City, 1980. Thank you again to Yvonne. And the next track is Something on My Mind, and something is spelled with an apostrophe rather than a G, meaning there's a bit of a folksy manner of speaking within the title. And yes, to have something on your mind, whether that's a feeling, an idea, a sentiment, an inescapable thought, is to perhaps precipitate action, a conversation. It's something that you may feel the need to express aloud, whether just to the world itself or to another person, something which might motivate you, something which is frustrating that you just can't get out of your head. Obviously, that's a very wide open canvas spanning a spectrum from good to bad or internal to external. But yes, there's a wide open possibility for a narrative, but not a clear indication of what that something will be, how it makes the person feel, and what they're going to do about it. So I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Teenage Head. The track is Something on My Mind, and it's from their 1980 album Frantic City.
Something on my mind. She's a friend, and I knew you wouldn't mind. But if you will have to go, that's okay. But if you decide to stay, please don't go. Please don't go. If you stay, I won't care anyway. If you're bad, but it's the last chance that you have. Can I say I let love is sometimes fine. Now I see all the things that went behind. But if you decide to go, that's okay. But if you plan to stay, please don't go. No, no, no.
Definitely give the last word of that song to the saxophone, which was my favorite sonic element. If you know this channel, if you know my preference for that instrument, you might not be surprised there. But I like how the vibe overall, it's very like early rock and roll, not just because of the saxophone, though that definitely enhanced that feeling, but even the guitars, it had this, sort of strummed acoustic guitar feel. It wasn't like a wicked electric guitar, which, whether you're talking punk rock or metal or, harder rock sounds of later decades, that tends to come to the fore more. But even the vocals had this kind of throwback, oldie-timey feel, mixed with maybe a bit of like, not country per se, but a bit of like folk rock sound. So it sounded like if you took the Everly Brothers and then mixed it with some early, like late 50s, early 60s rock and roll with saxophone. It feels like it was somewhere in that nexus, which is only surprising to me in that as I was going through the Vapors album, my understanding, and again, this is just based on, sort of immediate suspicions or conclusions that my mind drew, being well aware that it was, just in part based on a, like, oversimplification, but, knowing that the Vapors were a punk band and hearing that Teenage Head was an earlier punk band, my brain was thinking more like, early 80s punk, which whether you're talking Subhuman or Bad Religion or a lot of bands that I listened to that got their start back then, it's a bit more gritty, it's a bit more dissonant and wicked, and maybe there is some of that coming, but yes, my understanding of what Teenage Head is musically is already expanding because it doesn't sound quite like what I think of when I think of early 80s punk, and knowing that they have a bit of, a sort of diversity to their sound is an exciting revelation. And yes, it sounds like lyrically, the something that he has on his mind that he has to say is that, like, there's this other woman in his life and he's saying, look, she's just a friend, I knew you'd be okay with that, but hey, if you decide that you have to go over this, okay, like, I'm not gonna fight you on that, or I'm not gonna hold it against you, but if you decide to stick around, that's great, because I can show you that what's in store is going to be like nothing that you've been through before. So it sounds like he's making very clear that, like, look, I have female friends, and maybe this one specifically, but that doesn't have to be the end of things. If you walk away because of it, fine. Again, that's your choice. But if you stay, then I don't want you to go, and this could still be something special. So maybe there's some lines that I'm not hearing correctly, maybe some, tidbits that I missed, which are like crucial details to what's happening here. But that seemed to be the scenario. And it's, I think in some ways an admirable sentiment in that he's saying, like, look, if that's too much for you, I accept that, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I actually would like if you would stay, and this could be something good still. So yeah, the mellow, kind of laid-back sonics seem to fit the emotional disposition of the narrator, though it does sound like the something on his mind is like, it has to become conversation, it has to become external. So like one facet of what I was thinking in advance of the title seems to be the essence of the meaning, and that it's something on his mind, but not something like frustrating or something that he's just dealing with on his own, but like, hey, look, I just wanted to be forthright about this. This is the reality. Can you handle it? I hope so, but if not, okay, that's fine, that's cool, I accept it. But if you can, don't leave, because this could be something good. So yes, I will end by saying the saxophone really had a nice, it wasn't the most like swanky or like swaggery sax I've ever heard, but it had a bit of flair to it, it had a bit of charisma to it, and I think it fit the song perfectly. So again, to end the song with the saxophone getting the last word was a perfect bit of composition for me. So yeah, very much enjoyed it. Looking forward to the rest of the album and the other album that I now have ready to go. Thank you again to Yvonne. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.